Hello, thanks very much for joining me again. This little video is going to be about bottle stoppers, and I thought I would start just by explaining a little bit about bottle stoppers themselves. I've got a couple here. We've got the one we're actually going to be talking about today is our stainless steel bottle stopper. At the time of doing the video, this is new. And we haven't actually launched it as I'm filming yet, but it's a solid stainless steel bottle stopper with a mirror polish finish. Now, quite often when we're looking around websites, you will see other people advertising these as stainless steel bottle stoppers. Obviously we can't look at all of them, but I don't believe most of them, certainly looking at the price, that they are actually stainless steel. And the reason they're described as that is because some people just simply don't know what they're selling. These, most of the time, are a zinc alloy, and the answer is, or the question is, how can you tell the difference between a solid stainless steel one and a zinc alloy one? Because at a glance they kind of look similar, and on the photograph they look very similar as well. The answer is, I appreciate these are two slightly different shapes, but this, even though it's not quite as tall as this one, this is about 10% heavier than this one. One of the other ways you can tell is to actually look down at the thread, and if you look down a thread on a zinc bottle, a zinc alloy stopper, you'll probably see bits of brass colour, and at the end probably some black, because that's the colour it is when it's drilled out. If you look down the thread of, I don't think the camera will quite pick up on that, it's not going to focus on that for me. Anyway, if you look down the thread of a stainless steel one, a solid stainless steel one, you'll see it's stainless steel all the way to the end, and it's shiny like the outside. It won't be a mirror polish, but it will be stainless steel coloured. Another way of telling is, again, I'm not sure if the camera will quite pick this up, but because this one is plated, it's got like a curved edge. Don't get me wrong, there's nothing wrong with it, we sell these, nothing wrong with them at all. The edge is just slightly curved because it's dipped and plated. On a solid stainless steel one, you tend to get a sharper angle on there, which you wouldn't get on a plated model. So that's the difference, and that's really how you tell the difference between the two. As I said to start with, the main difference that you'll notice straight away is the price, because stainless steel is much more expensive than zinc alloy. So this stopper is 19mm across here, and one of the two reasons that it's 19mm, one is it fits on our heavy duty mandrel perfectly, because that's the size of the heavy duty mandrel, and the other reason is if you have something like a pen blank, you can use a pen blank on this, and that's what I'm going to do today. I have got some English field maple that in my infinite wisdom I've stabilised. Should have been blue, turned out green, but hey ho, that's just what happened that time. So I'm going to just turn a very small handle on the end of this and show you how easy it is to do that. Because I'm going to be using a stabilised blank, which is essentially wood with set in plastic, if you like. I'm not going to be using all the fittings that come with the stopper. All our bottle stoppers come with a thread with a hex end like so, and also a wood insert screw. Wood insert screws are only suitable for woods, most woods. I can't elaborate too much on all different types of wood. That's what comes with knowledge of wood as you go into wood turning. What I'm going to be using today is just the thread, and I'm actually going to tap an M8 thread into the handle itself and just use this part to connect it. What I need to do is stop talking and just get on with it. And now I'm going to use my M8 tap to tap a thread rather, into the stopper. When you drill the hole, not only do you need to make sure you go deep enough for the bottle stopper itself, but also to make sure that you've got enough room to screw it onto the mandrel fully so it meets up to the end here. So, I'm not sure if the camera will pick up the thread in there, but that's the threaded end. and we'll screw that onto the mandrel, and I think this blank is only just going to be big enough. You can't see from this end, I think only just big enough. There's about 20 mils, just big enough, just fractionally larger than the mandrel itself. Now when I'm turning this, I'm going to use the tailstock, and if I pull that up you might see that a bit better. This is an interchangeable tailstock piece that we've got, live centre. I'm going to change the 60mm core for a slightly different one. Now the end I've changed it for, instead of the normal 60° point, is the little stub end, because this, instead of making a single point in the middle that can be difficult to get rid of, grips it in several places at the end, just with a tiny little bit of support at the end of the stopper. I'm just going to pop that in there while we turn it around and finish this piece. I've got a few voids in here, so I've put a little bit of CA in there. I'm just going to add some sanding sealer. I don't know what this is going to do, but we'll have a look and see. So despite its void, it's quite pretty. So what I've done, because I've got some voids, I've put some CA in the voids, and I've tried to do a CA finish, and as usual I always have a battle with CA. I've actually tried something new today. I've tried Gorilla super glue, simply because I struggle like anything to get it on. And it's got a brush. Sorry, I have to watch I don't stick myself to everything with it. It's got a brush, and actually I have to say, putting it on with the brush really quite good. The glue itself is a bit thick. I might replace some of my other CA. Anyway, there we go. It's kind of shiny and finished. It's quite pretty. We'll take it off, and then we'll get our little thread. Now I would always put the thread in so you can get the hex key in there. There's only a hex fitting in one end, but it's more likely to be tighter in the wood than it is anything else. Probably hear that squeaking. There we go. Right, that's in there, and we can now pop that on our bottle stopper, and we should get a pretty good, if I hold that up there we go, let the camera focus, a pretty good finish on there. It's quite a pretty bit of wood, maybe a slightly unusual shape, but of course you can do all the normal wood shaped ones, and I'll pop some of those on later, but that gives you an idea of what you can do, and the fitting when you use the mandrel to fit onto the end of here. And there's a little bit of shape to that. So there we go, that's the little handle I've turned today. I've unscrewed that. There's another one that I've done. This is a wooden topped one. I always swap and change, because you can swap and change all these things, and of course a traditional wooden one, that's a bit big maybe for that stopper, but quite a nice shape. But of course you can do anything with them. So as always, I hope that's been helpful. Just before I go, what I was going to say at the start and completely forgot, because I start talking and forgetting what I mean to say, is the design of the bottle stopper. So there are quite a lot of different designs out there. That one is quite unique, because I looked at lots of the ones that were out there and I thought, well, I'm really not that keen on them. So what I did was I got on the lathe and I made myself a bottle stopper in wood that I was happy with the shape of, and that is the basis for this bottle stopper. And I have to say, I'm pleased to bits with it. If you don't like the design, I take full responsibility for that. But anyway, I hope that's helpful. Happy turning, enjoy your turning, box making, whatever it is you do in your workshops, and of course do it safely, and we'll see you next time. Thanks very much for watching. Bye bye.